Okay, and welcome to our latest edition of our podcast, Sum It Up. Today, we will be talking all about the social media trends and what's going on with each platform. And obviously, Tia is our expert, so take it away, Missy.
Well, I feel like we can start by just going into what's going on at the minute, because there is a lot going on socials, viral-wise. So what immediately came to my head was Eras Tour.
Yeah.
And you first-hand have experience of that.
I do.
How was it?
It was insane. It was insane. I must admit, I wasn't really a Swiftie. I was going for my daughter, and I'm a full-on one now.
Yeah.
She is a superwoman, an absolute superwoman.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I've seen all of her, like, donations and things.
The things that she's doing, the work ethic, and the fans that she's created, and... I mean, it's just everywhere, isn't it? The content, she's just developed a load of content creators as well, which is
that's
just
actually so
yeah.
true.
She doesn't need to do any marketing. Her fan base does it for her.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I'm not a Swiftie. So what was coming up on my TikTok was she was really suffering with the cold, and there was a lot of people capturing her snot while she was performing.
Oh yeah,
that's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't. You're literally cold or no cold. You're singing, you're dancing, you're running around night after night, 3.5 hours non-stop. She did. I'd be snotting.
I'd be snotting. But yeah, so obviously we've got a pretty anti-Swiftie in the office as well.
Yes.
So Aidan's not very happy about that.
No, and it's quite interesting now. I am one. He has to kind of be a bit quieter about it, which is really funny.
Even though his girlfriend is a Swiftie, but you can like different music tastes.
You absolutely can, yeah. I think he likes to hate her, doesn't he? That's I reckon.
Taylor Swift, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think he secretly loves a bit of Taylor, really. Yeah, he was happy to pick her up from the
I'll have you know that on our Spotify blend, he was putting Ariana Grande on there. And obviously the Barbie soundtrack, because Aidan is the biggest Barbie Ken fan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Personally, on mine, it's also all the Euros.
Yes.
So everything. Jude Bellingham is taking over my TikTok.
Of course.
And we do in the office all like that. The girls in the office.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah, we like it. So going into the different platforms then, and what's been going on each platform, we can start off with a bit of Facebook, easy, because I don't really feel like there's too much.
No, they keep it safe, don't they?
Yeah.
They do.
There's obviously been a lot with Meta, but not Facebook in particular.
Yeah.
But
that's their target age group. They don't like change.
Yeah.
And that is what they're doing.
It's true, that's true.
Yeah.
So the first one is polls in Reels. So obviously we've seen this on Instagram before. Generally what we're seeing is what is happening on Instagram will eventually happen on Facebook as well. But yeah, having those polls in those Reels. So it's all about engagement, isn't it? That's what we need to be pushing for.
No, exactly that.
And now this one I've got a strong opinion on. Broadcast channels.
Yeah.
I don't see how they're even working on Instagram, let alone introducing them to Facebook.
No, I'm with you. I'm not really a fan. I'm not really getting it. No.
I think there's a lot at the minute with like community management. There's loads of additions on Instagram and Facebook. Like with Instagram, you've got those notes, so they're little almost like little updates, like what you would do on Facebook back in the day. And I think they're not really bringing much to the table. It's just all about that community element. So if you want to build a big community on there, it might be worth it. But if you're struggling to know where to invest your time, I wouldn't suggest broadcast channels or notes.
No, I'm with you. It's all about the community on Facebook, and we see it for all our clients. It works really well if you've got a really big community. And actually, like mums in marketing, their community is insane on Facebook, and that's probably why I'm still on it, that particular community. But yeah, I'm not feeling it.
No.
Not feeling it, Tia.
No, I'm not a fan. Are you feeling influencers creating their own AI versions of themselves?
No. I am really
Scary.
not. I am not. And I've seen quite a lot of people using AI videos on their social, and you know instantly.
Oh my goodness.
There's quite a lot of AI going on at the moment. Like, I mean, at the moment, obviously, it's Southgate's getting an absolute killing on socials, but
Poor old Southgate.
they're literally changing his words, doing an AI video of what he said, and
That was brilliant. Though. I did see that. That was hilarious.
But it's kind of like, I mean,
and I actually believed it the first time as well. That caught me. And then you watch it back and it's obvious.
Yeah.
But
I'm guessing, I mean, the one good thing I think, if I was an influencer back in the day, I could blame if I was naughty on AI. It wasn't me, it was AI. So I'm guessing that's good for them, that point of view, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just feel like influencer culture, as much as it's, from a brand perspective, it's good to invest in marketing-wise, it has caused a lot of the downsides of social media that we see today. Like a lot of those negative, those unrealistic stereotypes that you have of yourself and of people, and adding AI into the mix just isn't going to help anyone.
No.
It's just it's taking social media further away from reality than it's already gone.
Yeah.
Which, the whole point of social, we always say this, be social on social media. You put yourself out there, you put your brand, your tone of voice, the people in your business, and it's just all going to become flooded with, it's just not realistic, it's not genuine.
But is it going to work as well? Because I just think, like, you know, the trend for 2024 has been authenticity, and the authentic content works so well. And, you know, we'll go on to TikTok, but just that real life humour in offices and things like that works really well. And people behind the scenes, you're going to know. And if you're not, like, it's not, I worry about things like this for the younger generation as well. I know there's this big talk at the moment of whether social media should be taken away before 16. I kind of think it should, to be honest with you, if this is the route we're going down, because you just put so much pressure on yourself. I'm not up for it.
I think as well, in regards to, it made me think about, if that goes through, if you are targeting those younger generation people, how will you target them? But it's not really, you shouldn't really be targeting them, especially anything to do with like looks and appearance. It's just too risky now, I think. Because it's you want to make it a nice place for everyone. That's what we always say is so hard about working in socials, because you love it because you work in it, but then sometimes you do absorb those negative feelings that people have towards social media, and it's a little bit like, I kind of get you, but I feel like I can't say that.
No. I think we should. I would not feel comfortable bringing on a client that was selling to people under 16. I just couldn't do it, especially with the influencer things that they're doing. You know, my daughter's 13. She thinks something's the Bible because she's seen it on TikTok, and actually, is that right for you? You know, she's got herself into these little patterns that she's seen on TikTok, which I'm not entirely sure. She says it's for her self-care, but I think she's putting pressure on herself. So I struggle with that too. It's like, yes, I do love social if we're going to be social, but as I say, it's not sold to me media.
I think also, like, back in the day, it was YouTube. When I was growing up, it was YouTube. So that already started that whole... And I remember, like, I had to be doing 10-step skincare routines every night. Like, I thought everyone would post their morning routine and their nighttime routine, and you genuinely believed that was what they did every single day, and it so wasn't. It probably wasn't even what they did every month, because it was all set up and staged, and rose petals in the bath and stuff like that. And now it's even worse, because you get that in 20 seconds on TikTok. It's no longer a 20-minute video.
Yeah.
It's so quick.
Yeah, so I think AI is even going to make it even worse.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan, not up for that.
Watching AI influencers.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to Instagram then.
Yes.
How are you feeling about Instagram at the minute? Got any thoughts or feelings?
Yeah, it's just the engagement's not as great, is it? It's not as good as it used to be, and it has slowed down a bit. And it's my go-to. It's still always my go-to. I think it's my age group, isn't it? So I think it is good, but I just feel like it was better when it started out, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Instagram was the it girl back in the day.
Yeah.
Instagram was that girl. Like, when you used to get over 12 likes, it would say, and others. Actually no, and others is recent, but I think it used to have the usernames laid out, and then once you went over 12 likes, you were a big deal. You made it. But so is there anything in particular that stands out for you, like any new things that they've launched? Because in fairness, they don't stop. They drive me mad. Every week another Instagram update. Unnecessary as well. We do have a little whiteboard over here that we're referencing. I didn't write it down. Pet stickers.
Yeah.
It's too far. It's gone too far. Although, in another breath, we do always tell clients that dogs work the best on Instagram.
Yeah, I know.
So maybe we should eat our words.
I mean, for me, I do like the things that you can do with stories now. Like you can literally create a whole advert on stories from the stories now, so that you don't have to go to Canva and design it. You can do stuff. So I quite like, and there's so many go-to tools of how to do that now. So I quite like the fact that small businesses can get involved and do things quite easily and quickly with their stories. That's something that I think is brilliant. But yeah, I think the carousels as well, like they've gone up quite a lot, haven't they? They're like 15 now.
Yeah,
15.
I think they're testing it on some, so I think it's one of those, some users have it, some users don't at the minute. But that all started from the whole like dump situation. Like, June dump, July dump.
Yeah.
So we've gone from, it is becoming a little bit back to how it used to be.
Yeah.
In a sense that we went from it being really just playing around, because it was like, really it was something to edit your pictures with, wasn't it? Because everyone used to play around with the Instagram filters. And then they went one step too far, quite a few steps too far, and it completely changed your face. And it was a very just polished app. And now we're kind of reverting back a little bit to posting those silly pictures in with the nice and polished ones.
Yeah.
I still think it's a very polished app, but so that's kind of where the whole carousel obsession has come from, which is interesting, because then that transformed onto TikTok, because you've now got your slideshows on there.
And they're working.
Yeah, they're working well. Spoiler. Also, Instagram and Facebook, Meta as a whole, are introducing WhatsApp a lot more. Obviously, we know that WhatsApp is owned by Meta, but I was quite happy to just keep them separate. I don't feel like I need my Instagram to link with my WhatsApp. I think they're trying to introduce sharing your stories to both. You know how like you would share your story to Instagram and Facebook, now you can share it to your WhatsApp story as well. Maybe I'm just not with it, but I'm not doing my WhatsApp story. It's too much.
Yeah, and I think as well, like the WhatsApp story has started happening more because the younger generation are not allowed on it. So it'll be interesting to know what happens.
Yeah, that's true.
Because my son's not allowed social media, but he's got WhatsApp. So all of a sudden he started to update his WhatsApp story. And I'm already like, how do I unfollow him? Like,
how do I block my son on WhatsApp?
So I think it'll be interesting to know in a few years how what happens from the younger generation doing that sort of thing. But I like to keep them separate. I feel like WhatsApp is just to communicate with your own little communities. Instagram's a bit wider, and it's a different tool. I like to keep them separate, but
I mean, one we haven't really put on there, to be fair, is WhatsApp, because more and more businesses are using it as a kind of selling technique. In which case maybe you feel stories are appropriate, but I would say that it is more of it's a tool to make you available to your community, to build that connection through messages. So I'm part of a few groups where you get like limited offers sent to to the WhatsApp group. You can't like message in there. It's just purely for selling, really. But more and more businesses have that WhatsApp set up now, don't they?
And the stories on there, it comes up how many people have updated it, and I tend to look just to see what my son's doing, to be honest with you. But I'm telling you now, I know where every price for Green Line taxis at the moment, because they're updating it every day. So we are kind of maybe missing a trick for some people.
Those like immediate communication type with taxis is great, to be fair. But I'm not yet sold on WhatsApp stories, especially not my Instagram ones. I don't, you don't need Grandad seeing you out on Saturday night. see that. He doesn't want to see it.
Your nan, on the other hand, she would be loving it.
Absolutely, she'll be there. She was there first. She'd let me out. This one I'm very, very interested with. So Instagram are testing the idea of having video ads similar to YouTube that you can't skip.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously YouTube are notoriously known for their kind of ad revenue and the adverts that you get on your videos. Snapchat do it now. More and more influencers and creators are using Snapchat due to, again, the ad revenue. So you have just a little ad on your screen that you can't click past until 5 seconds in. And now Instagram are thinking of bringing that to the platform. So how do you feel about that?
Well, from a marketing point of view, it's great, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's absolutely brilliant. Mm-hmm. It is. From a user, social media, as I always say, but I think we'll just get used to it. We do it with TikTok. Sorry, with YouTube. We do it with YouTube. So we will just get used to it. And they do have to think of ways of making new revenue and what's going to stand out for people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, personally not going to be a fan, but...
Having just done the paid media course,
mm-hmm.
I am actually quite excited about it.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Because Maddie and I have been playing around with a lot of the placements of where your ads can go. And, you know, the more placements you can get from one ad, the better. And I think it'll be quite interesting because we are really trying to push the idea with people that you really want your ads to be people-facing.
Yeah.
The graphics, there's graphic ads out there, but they're just not performing as well generally. You do have to obviously test for your industry and your business, but as people facing as possible, and videos is the best way.
Yeah.
It is the best way to be advertised to. Is something you don't even realise you're being advertised to. And I do think that those in-feed videos is an easy way of doing that because it's not about it being super clean and polished. It's about it looking like it's not an ad, so you've just scrolled on and you're seeing your next Taylor Swift TikTok or whatever it is. It's supposed to fit in to their feed, and I think that's sometimes just a misconception with that. So I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, and I do think they're doing a great job of that happening in your feed at the moment, aren't they? With the adverts, you know, I didn't even know I was following them. Oh no, this is an ad. It's brilliant. So I do think, from our point of view, when we're advertising for our clients, it's going to be a brilliant way to get more people seeing what they're about.
Definitely. And some of the news from Instagram in particular about Reels is that Reels over 90 seconds can actually harm your reach.
That's not surprising.
I feel a little bit annoyed about the whole, with video at the minute, 1 minute short form, next minute long form, 1 minute short form, next minute long form. And so how do you find that balance for your business? You really have to find what's working for you, look at your analytics, because the trends are saying long form is coming back with, you know, platforms like TikTok introducing 60-minute videos, yet the analytics that we're getting from places like Instagram is 90 seconds is harmful, 10 seconds is ideal, less than 10 seconds is beneficial. And it just shows the difference that the apps have, because somehow TikTok created this short form video craze, and now they've got such loyal followers on there, and now people want longer form video. But Instagram haven't been able to replicate that same thing with Reels. Like, you don't have, I know a lot of people that use Reels to go through it, but you don't have your, like, the people that you immediately recognise as creators through Reels, the same that you have on TikTok. And I think that's how they've managed to create it to be such a community where people want longer videos, whereas on Reels, people still want it really short because they haven't built that same community, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that sees a 5 to 10 minute long video and thinks, I'm going to sit and watch this. We are going to social media in our breaks, our chill out time, and they have created something that is short. We can just click through to the next one. I think it's very different from a YouTube point of view because you're obviously going on there to learn something. most of the time.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to struggle, and I do think the world has been taken over by TikTok, where it is short. I just don't understand. I don't know. I think they're trying to say it to encourage people and hope it works, but it's not sticking. I don't think.
I think maybe it's like a generational thing, because I was brought up on YouTube. I actually find myself, I do watch those longer videos. I don't realise they're longer.
Yeah.
They're filmed in a short form style. That's what's interesting.
Yeah.
It's not like 20-minute, 40-minute videos anymore. It's long form is like 3+ minutes. So you have to take lightly what we say with long form, but it's filmed. Something I always notice with TikToks is that it'll be story time, let's say. They'll film it, they'll say a sentence, they'll stop it, and then they'll start it straight back up. Nothing's happened for them to film it in a separate clip, but the way that it's filmed like that is making you think that it's shorter than it is, but you've still watched it for like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like long form, but it's in a completely different style now, isn't it?
Yeah. And I do think, though, to keep people to keep watching them, you do have to have a certain personality behind that camera, and you do have to really think about what that looks like. You can't just put anyone in your business on there talking for 10 minutes and think it's going to work. And it's, again, as you're saying, you've got to have a look at what ones did well, what actually happened in those videos. Did you add a bit of humour? Were you moving around a bit? Were you doing, like you said, stopping and starting it? And I think some people just put videos on and think, well, why aren't they working? And there's no real kind of analysis of what you should and shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, for sure.
But you're right, you have to really look at your own business and what is working and what isn't to really go for it. But I'm still in that stage that I go on social to quickly, obviously, check on our clients, but also, I haven't got much time, small windows. If I see them, I haven't got 10 minutes. But that said, you're right, you can get completely lost in something, and you're like, it's usually like, it's not
but
even...
it's like, it's certain creators, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if Stacey Solomon had uploaded a 10-minute video...
Yeah, I might have watched it, especially if she's arguing with Joe, that could go on for a couple of minutes and I'm involved. But it really depends what it is. But I think it's when businesses are doing those advisory pieces... which we've got a lot of, they do need to be short and sweet, because you need to get that buy-in before you can make them longer, and that following before you can make them longer.
Absolutely, agree. I also think that with videos, just something you mentioned there, I think my biggest piece of advice would be to take a step out of your business, because there's so many times, I think I've even said it before, where you'll create a video and as you're so passionate about your business, you want more information in there. Oh, we could do this, we could do that. We need to be working at 7 to 10 seconds. We don't have the time to do this and to do that. So I think it's really important. It's why it's so important to work in a team, isn't it, really? But you have to take a step out of your business and out of how much you want to say, and think about, what you really need to stick to. The production, what does that look like? Have that time limit there, and you'll eventually get used to it. Like you say, you can build up to have longer form videos. And then the only other thing really I want to say about Instagram was just the whole link in bio situation.
Oh,
it's dead. It's dead now.
No, yeah.
So now we all want comment to DM automation, which of course you have to pay for.
Yeah.
You've got to pay for that. But you don't necessarily have to have the automation set up, but the idea is that people aren't saying link in bio anymore because it feels salesy, and instead what they want you to do is to comment, and then the automation works by commenting a certain word and you get a DM sent straight to you about whatever the post is about. But just generally, I think Instagram are pushing more for comments anyway, so just thinking about your call to actions in Instagram. I'm a little bit of like a toxic trait marketer with call to actions anyway. I hate them. I just think... I'm aware you've got to have them and you've got to do it right, but immediately when I start writing or reading the call to action, I'm just like, I feel like it just brought the tone of the post down, and it's completely different. But if you do want that, then push for comments. You've got to push for comments now.
Yeah, and obviously the more comments you're getting, the more that's going to help with the algorithm anyway, isn't it? So it is really important. But yeah, I'm sure it'll change next week too.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to talk us through a couple of LinkedIn updates?
So LinkedIn, so they announced that had their biggest engagement ever. They haven't given stats or anything like that. They're just saying biggest engagement ever. And I would probably agree that it has had, I've seen it for our clients and that personal brand inside it, and even the business pages and the things they've done. You know, the articles, the LinkedIn newsletters, we can build up a quick database like in a matter of weeks that would take probably months unless you're buying leads and things. So it's so from our point of view, I think even just ours, you know, it's a few hundred that we've built up in like a couple of weeks. So it is really good for building a database if you're B2B. In fact, you don't even need to be B2B actually. It's working for some of our B2B, you can be B2C as well. So it is working from that point of view, and I quite like that. And I like the way it's working from a business point of view at the moment. I like finding out about the people behind the business, and a lot of people are doing more about me and what I'm up to, and like that personal brand inside of it, and I like it. I'm here for it, and I think that's where we've got that engagement coming from personally. So one of the things that they have introduced, they're looking at is the short form video.
Yes.
So there we go, short form.
I know.
Yeah.
This is what I mean, but the thing is with LinkedIn is it's like 2 years late.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a lot recently. There's been quite a few new updates, hasn't there? But they're just always late.
They are always late, but no one over a certain age on LinkedIn will even know that, if you see what I mean. So I think I do think videos work really well on LinkedIn. Obviously, even some of the funny stuff is working well on LinkedIn. So, but I'm interested to see what that looks like, because it'll be interesting to see if people start utilising it or if it just dies, because they've done this before, haven't they? They've tried to put their stories on and that's come back off. So
I'm seeing a real generational difference on LinkedIn at the minute, based off of trends that are forming on TikTok. So the current one at the minute is somebody going to match my freak? So it's giving a certain tone initially, and then what people are putting on there. So just for context, we've got Maddie in the office next door who loves to plane spot. And her freak would be plane spotting. Like, is somebody going to match me on the fact that I love to go to the viewpoint and watch EasyJet planes take off? I'm not matching it. I couldn't think of anything worse. Get me on the plane, not outside of it. But that's the context of the trend. I'm now seeing people on LinkedIn headline their posts with, is somebody going to match my freak?
No.
Yeah, and to me that is so, you've got your target audience, you've hit the nail on the head, I get it. But I think the generational difference is just so apparent on LinkedIn at the minute, because people are bringing those TikTok trends to LinkedIn, and I just can't help but think, what does Margaret in your office think about that LinkedIn post that you just shared? What is she going home telling her husband you've gone on LinkedIn? She's going to get the wrong end of the stick. Like, these have got to be explained if you've got, like, age gaps in the office. But, just made me think about that.
Yeah, no, that is interesting. I haven't seen any of those posts, but that's probably because I'm not of that generation. Maybe Margaret's not watching, no. I think from that point of view, they are trying to make it younger, aren't they? They're talking about rebranding. They're trying to bring things in so they get the younger audience in there. And I do think the younger audience do need to think about LinkedIn for their careers. So, and I would like to see it, but you're right. It'll be interesting to see how these trends pay off.
The trends are risky, aren't they? Our trends.
Yeah.
Gen Z, we bring risky trends.
Yeah,
boundaries.
I kind of like it though. I kind of like the boundary. You know, what's a 9 to 5 about? It breaks the boundary of the 9 to 5, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
I know that we all have to have, you know, there needs to be a certain way we work at work, but you got to make it fun, and I quite like what Gen Z are bringing to the table. I do. So also they're talking about bringing games as well. This is the games on LinkedIn.
Wasn't sure about that first.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be intellectual games, isn't it?
Yeah, I've heard it's Wordle vibes.
Yeah. So
maybe Margaret will like that.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
No, once again, when were we playing Wordle?
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago. Like, I don't care about. I mean, some people
Some
are
people love Word or
consistent
Tia.
to this day.
Yes, they are.
I respect it. I don't think I have that kind of loyalty in my blood.
And I also think you go on to LinkedIn from a professional point of view, you're kind of in a work mindset. Well, I am when I'm on it. So I don't know that's distracting. That will distract me from what I'm trying to achieve on there.
Yeah.
So
I think we do have one of the most easily distracting jobs.
we do.
So hard. I pick up my phone multiple times a day and think, what the hell was I doing?
Yeah.
Because now I'm 6 TikToks deep.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be saying this to the boss.
No, I know. It's exactly, it is. And you can't, like, I go on there to look at something of a client and then an hour's gone by and what was I on here for? So I know what you mean. It is. But that's how it works. That's how we're in business.
That's the point of us.
And the other thing again is that our AI assistant that they're bringing in.
Yes. I just can't help but think that we're just doing too much.
Yeah.
There are so many ways that AI can be so beneficial. I just don't. It might be great. It's only to premium users, I think.
Yeah.
So is it just a sales pitch? Another thing to make people get premium. But I don't like the AI voice anyway on LinkedIn. I don't like when you can tell things are written with AI.
No.
It's supposed to be authentic. And I think LinkedIn can easily get caught up in that because people aren't quite understanding yet that, you can actually have your actual tone of voice on there. Maybe less swear words, but you can actually put that across and people like it. But some people aren't quite on board with that yet and think you still need to be super professional. I mean, I've actually seen comments on some personal branding posts for a client where I can't remember what was said in it now, but the way it was written was so AI, and it even has like a sign off at the end in a bracket about something AI. So you blatantly know the comment is just an automation and about AI, and it uses like certain emojis and just the classic words that the free AI tools will give you. And I'm just like, in what way is this? It's getting his face out there, I guess, but it's...
Yeah, I just think when they've had record levels of engagement, maybe it is because people are being authentic on there.
Yeah.
Let's not AI it up, personally. Another thing that I'm quite here for is that they're kind of verifying recruiters, so you can't get the sales pitches. So this is the thing I'm not happy about, is how many cold emails I get through. Now, I understand people want to contact me. I'm a lovely lady. I want to be my mate too. I get it. But it's not even giving me anything. It's not saying I'd like to invite you to this or download this. It'd be really good for your business. In fact, the amount of people that try and sell me their social media services on there, or would you like a marketing strategy? Read the room, babes.
There's also nothing like that pain. Like, ouch.
Yeah.
We run our own.
Yeah, I know.
It's really nasty. I actually don't want to speak to you now.
It's crazy and it's got out of control. And it's just some really, and it's from all over the world as well, people that want you to use their recruitment services in Africa, and it's just most bizarre. But you've not even liked one of my posts, you've not even commented on anything, you've done nothing. And actually the people that do message me when they've interacted with me and commented on stuff, you tend to reply to, even if it is sales. You've got to warm me up.
I know. So verification for recruiters.
Yeah, like it. It is a good idea. And I just think stop cold calling on LinkedIn. Please just stop it. It's not, you need a better, you can't be getting stuff from that. You just absolutely can't be. You need to personalise it if you're doing it, and it's driving me mad. So
I'm also just not a fan of like the cold calling in general, and like people are getting quite attitudey in their cold calling emails.
Why haven't you replied to me?
Yeah.
Why don't you want my social media services?
Blocked. And I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of just really working against what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they do have the new company dashboard as well, which is very recent. It's very minor, but it's a different way to view your kind of insights and your analytics and stuff. So I can see that they're working on stuff.
Yeah,
They've seen the engagement and they're like, right, let's actually introduce some new things.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it as a tool. It's working for us. It's working for our clients.
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
Opposite end of the spectrum. I'm going to take us to TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, the big news that seems to have just gone under the rock. Under the rocks? I'm going to go for under the rocks.
Okay.
The new app.
No.
TikTok's latest app, photo sharing app. And honestly, you could have just not even known it was there. Because they've only launched it in certain countries and on Android phones.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, Android's first.
So actually, when you search up We on, it's WHEE, just for anyone that's interested.
It's a weird name as well.
Yeah. You get an e-scooter app if you have an iPhone. So don't try it, because that's not the app you want. Unless you want to roll around on an e-scooter.
I mean, they must be lapping that
up. But yeah, so huge news, but there's not really much to report with it because we can't really see what's going on there. But what I have heard about it, I'm not an Android queen, but I have heard that it's similar to other photo sharing apps, but it's a much closer network. So, because there's been a lot of updates recently from Instagram and things about your close friends, like only posting to your close friends list, only going live to your close friends list. It's all about that private, exclusive group, if you like. And from what I can tell, We is trying to create that almost like an Instagram version, but it's like just close friends. So it's giving Be Real when that was popping off. It's giving that kind of energy. But I can't really report on how it's doing at the minute because
we don't care at the moment. There's nothing happening.
Exactly. What is interesting, we mentioned earlier about the testing 60-minute videos, so I don't really need to highlight that again, but we'll see what happens with it. And they also, that goes hand in hand with their new creator rewards scheme, because now on the creator rewards, you only get paid for certain videos if they're over a minute long.
Oh.
So I've actually seen people playing the system and they will have the same video like 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm sure they're going to pick up on that soon though, so it's not a strategy I'd recommend. It's also really annoying. But yeah, people are really hurt by that change in the creator rewards. And one thing that I'm very interested in is the out of phone campaigns, which is a bit of a play on out of home. So your kind of guerrilla marketing, your billboards, your premieres and everything like that. And now more and more people are utilising that user-generated content on TikTok for those out of home campaigns.
Yeah.
So again, the user-generated content is no longer just socials, like it's actually being used on billboards and in movie premieres and things like that. Even when there is a movie premiere now, you've usually got an influencer going around interviewing and all those clips are going on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, it works both ways. So I'm excited to see how that works because I just love an out-of-home campaign.
Yeah.
Just love a billboard. Just get me on one, gosh. And they are introducing template videos. So Instagram Reels have already been doing this, to be fair. But when you have your in-app template, so you just have to fill in your, what video you want and the timing and everything is all kind of there for you. But to be honest, that's what CapCut was doing anyway with those CapCut trends. So I'm not sure how that's going to differ. And they're testing links in videos.
Ooh.
Very, very interesting. However, I'm fearful that it will take away from that not selling experience because I think that's why everybody loves TikTok. It's all about the community, it's all about relationships, and even though ultimately you are there to sell yourself, your brand, you don't want to be actively selling, and I'm scared that links is going to affect that.
Yeah, I think there has become a lot more active selling, isn't there, on TikTok? Obviously, the TikTok shop's doing really, really well, but
for sure.
Yeah, I think I've seen it more from a teenager point of view and having TikTok. So, but yeah, that is the thing. You can go on there and just shut down and just have a laugh. Bits, can't you, on there?
Exactly.
That's what you kind of want to keep.
And I know there's a brand that stands out to you.
Well, no, it's just the importance of not I was speaking to a group of marketers the other day, and we were all talking about how TikTok is doing so well for the clients that use it, and people are actually really scared to use it. It is a completely different strategy. You can't do what you're doing on every other social media platform. You have to just focus a completely different strategy on TikTok. And it's very reactive, obviously, and businesses just go, no, it's not for me, it's not for me. And one that really stood out for me was Atwell Solicitors. So it's quite obviously it's a solicitor, so it's
pretty corporate.
Yeah, pretty corporate. And the social media manager there had been doing quite a lot of videos for them and asked them to go on TikTok. And she had the owner, who was he was an older man, he's in his 70s, and she had him doing stuff, and she managed to get him on the finance man in finance, you know, the sound. So I've
seen that actually.
Yeah. So she managed to do it, and it got, I think it's up to 17.5 million views.
Yeah.
Just overnight, she gained 5,000 followers. They had people that wanted to work for them. Mm-hmm. So she had people that wanted to work there, and also inquiries of their services. Yeah. So people think that it's just there to gain followers, and it's not. That is outstanding. And I think she's done more like that. The pressure was then on to do more, but she's got more where she's got one that's got 10.5 million at the moment and stuff. But it was literally them having fun with it. And I think it took her 40 minutes to get this guy to kind of perform in the way that she wanted him to. And it's done that for them. They're off this. Everyone kind of knows about them because of that kind of story.
Yeah.
And it's just, it doesn't just have to be for the youngsters, and your business should start really thinking about being on it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Especially from a recruitment point of view, and finding out, the people behind your brand.
Yeah, completely. So we have a couple of little updates for X and Pinterest. Again, there's not as much, but there's a couple there.
Yeah.
For X, I just hate it. It's Twitter. Well, it's not Twitter anymore. That's my point that I'm trying to make.
They have taken everything away from us.
They have removed the likes you can see on the profile.
Yeah.
Which I just think is something that was so iconically Twitter. It reminds me of back in the day on Instagram, you used to be able to see what your followers were liking and commenting on, and now they're gone. So it's giving secrets.
Yeah.
What's in there? What are we liking? Well, no one's using it anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But they've taken that away, and just more emphasis on that subscription that they're really trying to push. They are really pushing it. But what actually got me thinking about the subscription is, I know most of us know, Twitter, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, are introducing the subscription. It made me think about other platforms doing it. LinkedIn with Premium have kind of just been doing that all along. Yeah. Which is quite interesting because we are I am anyway, I'm so anti social media subscriptions because, again, I just think it takes away that social element of it. But actually, LinkedIn's always had that.
LinkedIn was never a social media to start with, though. It was a recruitment platform. So I think they can. If you want to pursue your career or get, a recruiter, that is the platform for you to be using. And I think you should be paying for it.
But how many people that use Premium are not recruiters?
Oh, I don't know,
So many.
Yeah.
It's for sales, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's very different. They're very different platforms.
Very different. But they've done it from the start. And now, someone else has come and bought Twitter X, and they're just turning it into a money machine, and it's very obvious.
Yeah.
And I don't think he cares.
No, it's unfazed. and Pinterest, one that I wanted to add on there because I don't think it actually gets talked about enough.
No.
There was a recent kind of study and research into Pinterest, and they found that 40% of Pinterest's global monthly users, easy for me to say, are Gen Z.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so we're keeping it alive.
Yeah.
No, I just think it's really interesting because
That is interesting, yeah, 'cause it's been around a long time.
a long old time, and not really much has changed with it. But Maddie, who runs our stories, was doing a this or that yesterday, and she said, what app can I compare Pinterest to? Like, you know, this or that Pinterest or... And I said, well, most people will compare it to Instagram in regards to its, like, aesthetic vibe, but there isn't an app like Pinterest that has the scalability of Pinterest. So it's very interesting, and for construction, interior design, anything aesthetic, it is doing amazingly for one of our interior design clients at the minute. And, you know, Pinterest advertising is more of a thing now as well. And they've also introduced board sharing. So when you create your boards, you can share that with any other social media network now. So it's just making that a bit easier to integrate with those other platforms. And I love it. I actually really like Pinterest. Nail inspo all day, every day.
Yeah.
Because... in fact, it's the one thing that I don't like in short form video. And it's what I always find, obviously it's very personal, but for when I want to go and get my nails done, I don't like to watch the video because you're showing me you getting your nails done. I just want to see the final thing. Do I like it? No, I don't like that. Move on to the next one. And I don't know why that's still got me on there, but I use it every single month consistently before my nail appointment.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gen Z are using it, and it is really working well for any kind of company within the design industry, I would say.
Yeah.
Something where you have that aestheticness to it.
Weddings as well. I feel like weddings,
huge.
birthdays, that when they're trying to get, you know, the balloon art and stuff like that for birthdays and things like that, that works. But yeah, we've worked with photographers and things like that, and it's worked really well with them before as well.
Yeah. So we are going to start bringing in some of the others into these podcast episodes.
We are, yeah.
We have a very amazing team in there with a lot of big characters and personalities. So we're quite excited for that and for like upcoming episodes. So in celebration of that, I thought we could start a little mini series where we just compare our feeds for a little bit. Because I think it would be quite funny. I think it would be funny to just compare what's in my feed, what's in your feed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And also just so you can get to know our team a little bit better, because we have had a massive push with getting them more comfortable in filming content on socials. We all work in marketing and we all hate it. And you know, since their characters have been coming out, it's worked really, really well for us. And that's why we love them at the end of the day. That's why they're part of the team. So I feel like it's a fun little series. So my app of choice is going to be TikTok.
Okay.
And it's been around for a while, but the little 10 swipe challenge. So obviously with TikTok, it's one swipe, one post. But what's your app of choice?
My app of choice at the moment is probably Instagram or LinkedIn.
Okay. I feel like Instagram's going to provide a little bit more fun.
Oh, I think so. Be more fun than yeah.
People are signing off already if you do
Oh,
LinkedIn.
jeez.
So I'll kick it off. I'll turn my audio off just because, you know, you never know what kind of audio is coming up. Okay, so my first, I've got a little bit of Kylie Jenner news.
Oh, okay.
Kylie Jenner never films for the show. I've not watched the latest Kardashians, actually. That's a brilliant reminder.
I've never watched Kardashians. I know. I don't even know how we get on with that statement, I'm sure.
We've got the kind of aesthetic marketing girly versus the analytics marketing girly, which I love this kind of trend.
Yeah.
Because it's so funny. I think we've got some real... You can identify who goes into which category in the office. Just a bit of a 5-minute hair routine.
Okay, yeah.
Looking cute.
You could do those. You've done your 5-minute hair routine this morning.
I did. Heatless curls, everyone. Try my heatless curls. I don't know what this is. We're going to skip over that one. Asking social media managers their daily screen time. We filmed this one. That's pretty iconic. Now, mine was actually, spoiler alert, we cheated on that TikTok because no one's screen time was actually giving dramatic enough, except for mine.
Oh, really?
They were all mine, and my screen time is disgusting.
Oh.
Like 13 hours.
Oh, Tia.
Yeah. So yeah, however, no, I'm not even excusing it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Aldi Food Shop. Right, why am I obsessed with watching this? Right, so people will literally show you what they got from Aldi. Like, we're a couple in our 20s. This is what we got in our food shop. Why do I watch it? The whole thing.
Oh, wow.
I don't even do my own food shopping.
I haven't even seen that. That's not even coming up on my feed.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And concerningly, I'm on Wedding Talk. There's no ring. I've got no rings. I don't know why I'm on Wedding Talk. But the guys are predicting that it's because we keep talking about weddings in the office because our little Libby got engaged.
Yeah, no, it probably is. And your age demographic, that's what they do. They put the pressure on you.
23.
No, I know. Don't do it. Don't do it.
That's pretty extraordinary though.
Oh,
that's pretty
wow.
cool.
I mean, God knows how much that cost them. That's another thing. That's too much pressure on the youngsters.
Yeah.
I can't afford that, kids.
And then I'm finishing off on just a little CapCut template of The Real Martha from Baby Reindeer. There's been a lot of... Some people aren't sure whether, it was appropriate to use. You can make your own minds up, but it was top performing content on TikTok, I've got to be honest. What you got?
Okay, right, I got it. Do you have you? Sugary shit. I do love what he's done on social media.
What happened to him in the GC and their diet?
Oh, she only lasted a week, babes. Yeah.
GC.
But he's swearing a lot on his videos, and the younger generation are listening.
Yeah.
So my son started eating a lot more eggs than cereal for breakfast. So someone's listening, but I like him. Okay, here's how you can train for your age. I mean, I'm going to have a lot of perimenopausal stuff coming up on here. What mum brains work to get stuff done? How did your brain get this shit done? Like, yeah, 100%. See, this is what's happening. Like, my feed's telling me I'm stupid as well. Okay. What you can wear on holiday? There we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
That's not mine.
This is actually slimming swear and the stuff that you can make your boobs look better in.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, I know. I don't know where that's come from. I have not bought any of this stuff, but maybe it's telling me I need to. Okay, lots of hot men doing exercise. Not entirely sure what this is for. Oh,
Jamie, watch out.
Oh, Bali retreat. Yeah, I'm up for that. Are they all there?
Ooh.
Nice. Okay. And then
Emma's taking annual leave.
your new way of dealing with negativity point of view. Yeah.
Okay, so we're on a self-love journey right now.
I think it's self-love. Yeah, I think it's just, I don't really know what it is. It's a bit worrying,
self-love,
actually.
it's pushing the boobs up, and it's all about getting rid of that negative view, which I feel like is wise words for anyone.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, I think my feed is full of, they do target your age. Your age will be targeted for weddings, which is, but mine is all about what I can do to, keep the hormones at bay. Maybe that's my husband doing that.
Recommended.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it was
excited
good.
to make that little series. Thank you for listening, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of your little stuff, and we will be back soon with a couple of guys from the office. So probably a lot more censored words, I would say.
There we go.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.